Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Daily Speak, the place where English feels human, simple, and real.
Hi, everyone. It's really good to have you with us today. How are you feeling right now?
Before we start learning, let me ask you something simple. How is your day? Because learning English is not just about grammar, it's about your day, your mood, your life.
Exactly. Maybe you had a busy day, maybe a tired day, or maybe a good one with tea, coffee, or a small smile.
For me, it was one of those days where you plan to do so much, but at the end of the day, you feel like you didn't make any progress at all.
That sounds very human and very familiar.
Yes, and that's why today's topic is important, because we use these two words, make and do, in almost every sentence we speak.
Actions, creations, chores, decisions.
Things like, what am I doing? Or what should I make?
And many learners ask us this question again and again.
Yes, what is the real difference between make and do?
If this question lives in your mind, you're not alone. Most English learners feel confused here.
They know both words describe an action, but they don't know when to use which one.
And sometimes they stop speaking because they're afraid of choosing the wrong one.
So let us say this clearly right now.
Making mistakes here is normal.
Very normal.
Yes, even native speakers don't think about rules all the time. They feel the situation, and today will help you feel it too.
But before we slowly move into the lesson, we have a small request.
If you enjoy learning English in a calm, friendly way, if this podcast helps you feel more confident, please like this episode and subscribe to English Daily Speak.
It really supports us, and it helps us continue making real-life English podcasts for you.
All right, now let's begin slowly.
Okay, Leo, let me ask you something simple.
Okay.
Right now, do you know what you'll do after we finish recording?
Good question. I think yes. I'm going to do the dishes. I left them in the sink this morning.
Doing the dishes?
Yes, and after that, I think I'll make a nice cake. My sister's coming over later.
Interesting. So, listeners, listen carefully to those two sentences.
I'm going to do the dishes. I'm going to make a cake.
That sounds very natural.
But why?
Exactly. Now let's look at the difference. Leo is doing the dishes because it's a task, a chore, something he does again and again.
But I'm making a cake because I am creating something new.
And that is the heart of today's topic. Not rules first, feeling first.
So let's make it very clear. We use do for actions, obligations, and repetitive tasks.
A decision made to perform a task, something you already know how to do. For example, I'm going to do my homework.
That means the work is already there. You just need to perform the action.
Maybe you even have your books open or your pen ready.
Yes, now compare that with make.
We use make for creating or producing something.
Results that come from your hands or your mind, like when you make breakfast.
You didn't plan the action of breakfast, you produced the food.
Let's take another example.
Okay,
You're sitting at home. Your friend says, I'm hungry. And you reply, I'll make you a sandwich.
that's not a chore, that's creating something for your friend. So here, make feels right.
Now, let's talk about work.
Ah, yes, very important. When we talk about work tasks, we usually use do.
Like, I'll do the report tomorrow, or I'm doing some research.
Tasks live in do. Now, decisions.
Good point. When we decide something, we always say make a decision.
For example, I need to make a choice.
But if you are working on a general activity, you say, I am doing something.
So, again, feeling, situation, context, not memorizing grammar tables.
That's why we say English is not about pressure. It's about clarity and practice. Small practice every day.
Now that we understand the basic feeling of make and do, let's talk about real life because that's where learners usually get confused.
Yes, especially when they start thinking too much. They pause, they translate in their head, and suddenly the conversation feels heavy.
Exactly. English should not feel heavy. It should feel like talking about your day, your plans, your thoughts.
Let's imagine a very normal situation. You're at home in the evening, sitting on your sofa, looking at your messy living room.
And suddenly you remember, I have to do the cleaning.
Because you already know it, you already accepted it. Your mind prepared for the task.
Yes, that's do, an activity already living in your head as a must.
Now imagine a slightly different moment. You look at that messy room and you say, I'm going to make some changes to the decoration.
Ah, see, now you are creating something new, a new look, a new result.
And that's why make sounds natural there.
This is where many learners struggle because both words talk about acting, but the feeling behind them is different.
Let's talk about another common situation, the kitchen.
Ah, yes, food conversations confuse people a lot.
Imagine your friend asks you in the morning, what are you doing in the kitchen?
And you're just cleaning. You say, I'm doing the washing up.
Because it's a chore, it's repetitive.
Now imagine you are cutting vegetables. You say, I'm making a salad.
See the difference? One was a chore, the other was a creation.
And this happens every day in real life, in offices, homes, shops, conversations with friends.
Let's talk about suggestions, another big area.
Very important. Imagine your friend looks stressed. You notice it.
You don't plan anything, you just feel it, and you say, I'll make a suggestion.
That sentence feels helpful because you are producing an idea.
Now, let's flip the situation. You're just being helpful. You say, I'll do you a favor.
Both sentences are correct, but the action of the favor uses do, while the creation of the idea uses make.
That's why memorizing rules alone never works. Learners need to see the situation, feel the moment.
Now let's talk about mistakes, because mistakes are part of learning.
Yes, and many learners fear them too much. Some learners think, if I choose the wrong one, people will judge me.
But that's not real life. In real life, people understand your meaning.
They don't stop the conversation to correct your make and do. They focus on communication.
So if you say, I did a mistake,
When you actually made it earlier.
it's not wrong in communication. It may not be perfect grammar style, but it's understandable.
And confidence matters more than perfection.
Exactly. Now let's talk about daily chores, because this is another confusing area.
Yes, chores almost always use do.
Imagine you look at your laundry, you say, I have to do the laundry.
Now, imagine you're looking at your bed. You say, I have to make the bed. Wait, why is that? Making the bed is a chore, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But think about it. When you make the bed, you are creating a neat, tidy surface that wasn't there before.
Ah, so again, feeling, situation, context.
Let's bring this closer to daily life.
Yes, because learners want English for real conversations. Imagine you're learning English seriously.
You say to yourself, I'm going to do my best every day.
That's an effort.
But one day you succeed. You say, I made progress.
The effort is what you do, the progress is what you make.
This is how English lives in real life.
Now that we've talked about actions, results, and feelings, let's look at the mistakes learners make again and again.
Yes, because understanding the idea is one thing, but using it while speaking is a different story.
Exactly. Many learners freeze in the middle of a sentence. They stop, they think, and the conversation loses its rhythm.
Let's talk about the first common mistake, using do for everything.
I hear this a lot. Learners say, I did a cake, I did a phone call, I did a noise.
And technically, people understand them.
Yes, but it doesn't sound natural because you are producing these things.
So, I made a cake, I made a phone call, I made a noise.
That sounds relaxed, natural, like real life.
The problem is learners think they need to find a big rule.
Yes, they feel like they need a dictionary in their head.
But native speakers don't think like that. They think in situations.
Now, let's talk about the second mistake, using make for chores.
This one creates awkward moments. Imagine you say, I'm going to make the dishes.
It sounds strange because you aren't creating the plates, you are just cleaning them.
The language matches the moment, so do the dishes. Quick, natural.
Now, let's talk about business, because business English is full of these.
Very true. You do business with someone. That's the activity.
But you make a deal. That's the result.
You do work.
But you make money.
See? The activity versus the outcome.
Another common mistake is overthinking while speaking.
Yes, learners stop enjoying the conversation. They ask themselves, is this make or do? What is the rule?
But real conversations don't wait. People speak first, they think later, and that's okay.
That's how fluency grows. Let's give a simple tip to our listeners, a very important one.
If you are talking about an activity or a duty, try do.
If you're talking about the final result or something you created, try make.
Don't search for perfection, search for connection.
Now let's practice with a small story.
Yes, stories help memory.
Imagine it's Monday morning. You wake up and make a cup of coffee.
Then you sit down to do some work. Suddenly, you make a mistake in your report.
Oh no, but it's okay. You do your best to fix it.
And in the end, you make a great impression on your boss.
One morning, 5 situations and a mix of make and do. That's real English.
Let's also talk about confidence, because grammar alone doesn't build confidence.
Confidence comes from speaking, from making small mistakes and continuing anyway.
So if you ever say the wrong one, don't stop. Don't apologize too much.
Just keep going, because fluency is movement, not perfection.
Now we'll bring everything together.
Yes, let's help people actually use make and do in real life.
Because knowledge without use stays stuck in the head, and English needs to come out of the mouth naturally, calmly, without fear.
Let's start with a kitchen habit.
Good idea. You go to the kitchen, you make breakfast. Why? Because you created it.
Then you do the dishes. Why? Because it's a chore.
This is how grammar follows life, not the other way around.
Now let's talk about sports.
Very important for beginners. We say do exercise or do yoga.
It's an activity for your body.
But if you invite friends over for a match, you make an arrangement.
Quick decision. Natural English.
Now, let's talk about those emotional phrases.
These are powerful. You say to your friend, "You make me happy."
You produced that feeling in them.
But your friend says, "I'll do anything for you."
That's the action they will perform.
English reflects your emotional state. That's why memorizing rules alone doesn't work. You must feel the sentence.
Now, let's help our listeners build a habit, a simple daily habit.
Every night, ask yourself 2 questions.
First question, what did I do today? Talk about your tasks.
Second question, what did I make today? Talk about your creations or results.
Say the sentences out loud, even if you're alone, especially if you're alone.
Your brain needs practice, not pressure.
Now, let's do one last conversation to see how it flows.
Imagine 2 friends. One says, "What are you doing?"
The other says, I'm making a plan for my holiday. I need to do some research on hotels.
"Oh, can I make a suggestion? You should do a trip to Morocco."
I love that.
No confusion, just context. That's the secret word today. Context, not grammar fear.
Before we finish, let's talk about confidence one last time.
Yes, this matters. If you mix them up, it's okay.
Communication comes first, perfection comes later, and sometimes never, and that's perfectly fine.
Because real English is flexible, alive, human.
So remember, actions, chores, equals do. Creations, results, equals make.
That's enough to start speaking today.
And if this podcast helped you feel even a little more confident, please support us. Subscribe to English Daily Speak. Like this episode and share it with a friend.
Your support helps us create more real, simple, human English conversations.
We are not here to teach perfect English. We're here to help you use English with confidence, with clarity, and with courage.
See you in the next episode.
Until then, keep speaking.
Bye, everyone.